Hey, what's happening, peeps? We back again with another one. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's episode. I got some content I want to deliver to you all. I think is valuable and help you in your careers and success. As always, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend to tell a friend. Appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. Keep it coming. Let me know what you want to hear more of, because I want to deliver more of what you want to hear. And today's topic I'm going to talk about is workplace email etiquette, right? There's a lot of things that go on in the workplace in terms of emails that are just annoying. I'll just be honest with you, right? Or just the inefficient practices, right? And so I've got some tips I want to give you all. I've got my notes here to the right. So if you see me looking down, just checking my notes here to really help you be effective in your emails. And hopefully help your peers be effective when sending you emails there as well. And so let's get started. I've got several I want to go through with you. I'm going to talk about each one. The first one I have is be clear and concise in the subject line, right? In that subject line, don't put a vague statement or just kind of a opener, hey, how's it going? And then put all the information. Be important in that actual, or use something of importance in that actual subject line so that people know that you're sending them an email because of a specific isolated incident, right? People have teams most of the time in their job, so you can communicate side chat and things like that and those things. But if you're sending an email, that subject line needs to capture people's attention, right? Because a lot of emails get lost because people just put random stuff in the subject line. But you should be very intentional in terms of what's going on, right? April 2025 offsite items to discuss, right? Or project launch for this specific date, whatever the case may be, right? But be concise and clear in that actual subject line. If it's a sense of urgency or something, be action required, right? Put that in there, right? Because people will know, hey, I need to do something if I see this in there. So be clear and concise in that subject line. I know it seems like it's tedious, but I'm telling you, you can make your day a lot easier if you just be clear and concise in your subject line. The second one is just be professional in your salutations and greetings there as well. I mean, you don't have to be over the top, right? But don't be rude or disrespectful. You can say hello, get right into the point, right? You don't have to draw out how's it doing? How are you doing? Hope your day's going well, right? You can maybe do that at the best. Hello, how you doing? Hope your day's going well, and then get right into it, right? You don't have to write a paragraph or small talk. Again, companies have teams, things like that, where you can communicate in side chat and, kind of build, kind of water cooler talk, if you will. But be intentional in these emails, right? Because most people are doing their work. They're going to look at their teams and their email outlook is going to pop up with something. They're first going to look at the subject line and then they're going to look and see how you addressed or how you're speaking to them and what needs to be done. So just have a good, greeting or professional closing. Thank you. Appreciate all you do. Sincerely, best regards or whatever as well. Hopefully you have an email signature. I think everyone should have one email signature. If you don't, create your own. If it's not a template, it just makes things easier for you in that aspect of it. The third one I have here is be brief and to the point, right? Do not write extensive paragraphs, right? If you feel like you're having to write a paragraph, then you need to set up a meeting, right? That's really what it comes down to, right? Don't get caught up in, 6 email exchanges and those are created a lot of times because you're not, being brief and to the point, right? So just, set yourself up for success, right? So you don't have to get an email back with a long paragraph for you to try to decipher through. Just say, hey, like I need an answer on A, B, and C, or did this get done? I need to know for this date, right? Because of if it doesn't get done, I can't do this, right? So, be brief and to the point in those emails. Nobody wants to read a paragraph. You don't want to read a paragraph in an Outlook email, right? It just makes everyone's day feel a little bit more stressful, and they're more likely to ignore the email and not even worry about it Oftentimes, you'll probably see someone, if they did send an email that was a paragraph long, they'll talk to people and they'll say, "Oh, I didn't actually even see that part." So be brief and to the point in your email. Be clarity. If you need to use bullet points, number list, hash marks, or whatever the case may be. You can definitely use the Teams feature where you can call out people, where you can tag them typically in your email for specific answers you need for specific topics that you put in the email. But be brief and to the point on it as well. So this next one, it should be a given, but it's not, right? Use proper grammar and spelling, right? Don't use any slang. Spell check, if you don't know the word, spell check it. Google, use the right term. It's nothing more embarrassing than you're using the wrong term of you are, right? People don't understand that, right? People will use and they don't understand there's YOUR, and then there's YOU apostrophe RE, right? So just spell checking grammar, right? You want to make sure that you're presenting yourself as a professional version. Don't use slang. Don't use, cool terms, unnecessary abbreviations, right? Don't use the way you talk to your friends, and instead of you saying you use the letter U, or saying YOU, you just use the letter U. Like, be professional, spell check grammar, make sure everything flows. Always do a second look over with your emails just to make sure that you didn't miss anything, or you may not have misspelled a word, but you may have put too many words in there. You could have two ands in there, or you're missing the word and something gets lost in translation. So spelling and grammar on it as well. Next one is just be mindful of the tone, right? That goes back to just using proper greetings and closing and salutations in that manner as well. But just try to present yourself as trying to collaborate and get something done, right? Some people will try to use cap locks to try to present something as urgent, or some people may take that as offensive as you're yelling at them, right? And so just be mindful of your tone. Avoid using kind of unnecessary disrespectful language, right? Or anything that be perceived as disrespectful language. Because also this is a company document. And so if something is reportable, it needs to go to HR, right? There's going to be a record of that, right? So just be mindful of that as well. But I just want to make sure that I say that, be mindful of tone in that aspect of it. The next one I have is reply promptly, right? If possible. And that goes kind of, if you're sending the email, if you're setting things up appropriately, right? And you're getting very direct and to the point, right? You should say, hey, I'd like to know this by the end of the day, or can you get me this information by Friday as well? So give them a timeline in which you need to get a reply back from them. But also, if you're actually replying, and don't wait until the last minute. So, you create more stress because that person is probably, reaching out to you because they need to get something done. They're hoping for an answer there as well. So I'm not telling you need to reply, they send you a message at 10:02 and you reply at 10:03, right? But if you have the information, try to just get it to them when you can, right? And be mindful of that, but try to get it to them in a decent time. Think about it if the shoe was on the other foot and you needed the information from them, how you would want to receive it. So, just try to reply promptly, or if it's going to take you a while, acknowledge that you received it and tell them, hey, it's going to take me a little bit of time because I've got this on my plate. I've got to get this done, or I have to run this actual test or system to get through, and it takes X amount of time to be able to get some type of answer. Query. I was trying to think of the word to say. So to get an answer back or be able to understand, decipher through whatever needs to be done, right? So you can reply back and then give them a timeline of what it's going to take you. That's definitely something you can do as well. So I touched on it, like I said, in terms of salutations and closing. This is another one. I have it listed up. I skipped it, but I kind of said it previously there. But I could skip it, but I kind of said it previously. Have a professional signature. Makes life easier. So it helps you with your closing. You can just put your name, job title, ... And right above that, just put best regards, thanks, sincerely, whatever the case may be. So, sometimes you can be typing an email, right? You're moving it fast, and everything looks good, and you just blast it off, right? And you forgot to just say thanks or best regards. So some people will take that as being offensive or rude as well. So, like, it's not saying people were sensitive. It's just saying, hey, just try to present yourself in a professional light as best you can, and hope people receive you as a professional and someone that's trying to get work done and be a colleague and be a good teammate as well. So, um, I would also just add to that, be careful. This is just a tip on it as well. It's not necessarily something well, I guess you could look at it as something you would do. Be careful of the reply and the reply all, right? Because, people get that confused, and you may be wanting to talk to someone directly because you're trying to actually speak to them kind of sidebar in that situation. And you could possibly be saying something about somebody else that's actually in the wrong here. So just be careful of that reply y'all. Think about it, which one you need to use appropriately when you're actually, communicating or responding back to that. So the next, I think I got a couple more here. So um, respect privacy and confidentiality, right? And that's something that somebody may tell you something because they have a good level of rapport with you that's going on in their personal life, or that they're experiencing, or whatever the case may be. And if you're replying to them, that's not the time to be trying to, bring that information up. You don't want to say, oh, can someone help him with this? I know Sally's going to be out of the office because she's going through a divorce, right? That's not something that you want to be putting out there to the masses or putting on the company official document, right? Essentially is what an email is, their electronic document there as well. So just be sensitive to that information, understanding what you need to communicate and what doesn't need to be communicated, and being respectful and mindful of your peers, because you want that same type of treatment for yourself there as well. So the last one I have here is just the overuse of attachments, right? People will get annoyed if you start putting 15 attachments in there, you will confuse people and you will lose them, right? So understand what attachments need to be added to an email. If you're going to put an attachment on there, which are the pertinent ones to actually add? And if there's multiple ones, like, specify why you're putting multiple ones on that actual email. Don't just send 15 attachments and say, find it somewhere in there, right? Reference, hey, on this attachment, it's got the information for this, and on this attachment, it's got the information for that. So, I think it's important for you to, be respectful, because you don't people's time and your time. Again, you don't want people to send you that same type of situation where there's 15 attachments. So just send the attachments that need to be sent. If it feels like, they're not understanding the attachments, or if you get too far into too many emails, I guess I'm going to go into this as well. But if you start to send too many attachments and they're getting confused, just get on a call, get on a meeting, set up a meeting with the person. It'll make life easier than you going back and forth, sending 5 or 6 emails back and forth with each other. And that goes into my last point. If you start to feel like you're sending multiple emails back and forth, it probably means that you need to get on a call, right? My rule of thumb is essentially, if I have to send more than 2 emails, we probably need to get on a call, right? Because I don't want to sit here, I have to keep replying. And a lot of things, if we just get on a conversation, meet, whatever the case may be, we can probably resolve that particular situation or where we're confused at in probably about 5 minutes. So if you get to, you don't have to use the 2 email step. That's just my own personal one. If you say, hey, once I get to 3 emails, we probably need to get on a call, right? And just go ahead and encourage that. Like, say, hey, we should get on a call and talk about this. I think we can clarify it out a lot quicker there as well. And so, I just wanted to go over that. I think, again, a lot of these are kind of no-brainers, but just think about them, right? Think about, emails, what you're sending out, how you're receiving it, how you would want to receive it, and how to make it the most effective that as it can be, because you don't want to have to send more emails than you have to as well. So, let me know in the comments if I missed anything from an email, kind of tip that you would do, or you feel is a good tip there as well. And let me know what you want to hear more of as well. So I appreciate y'all tuning in today's episode, and As always, if I'm lit and you lit, then we lit. So stay lit. I'm out.